So the secret question, what is the secret to creating trust in a marketing situation?
Yeah, I think it's connecting on an identity level, right? So we talked about sports earlier, right? And so right now, I'm a rather enthusiastic Pacers fan because the Pacers are progressing in the playoffs. They're pulling off all these unexpected wins. But 4 months ago, in the middle of their season, I couldn't tell you what their record was. I couldn't name all of their starting players, but now I'm watching it. Now I'm emotional about it. They lost on Sunday after winning 2 games in New York, right? So now I'm all emotional about it. But that fandom is really sort of temporary, right? There's nothing, I'll feel bad for 24 hours, and I might have a couple of friends from New York who will razz me if the Knicks beat the Pacers. But it really doesn't change my life in one way or the other. I don't feel affected significantly. And too many of us are trying to market to that kind of level, right? We're talking to people. We got a best price. We have a cool new feature. Those are all fleeting. They go away, and all that has to happen is for your competitor to drop their price by 5%. And that whole thing goes away, or they add a new feature, or you're selling on Amazon, and Amazon decides to start copying your product, or some Chinese knockoff. Those are completely indefensible positions right now for a company. But when you can connect with people on an identity level, I share your values. We're people who we share faith, we share a political identity. You're connecting with them in a way that makes them loyal to you so much deeper than, well, I'm just buying because it's cheaper than the store next door. They've got a special going on. I got a coupon. It's all very fleeting. Identity is unchangeable. People's faith and politics remain very similar over time. Whereas you were a Colts fan one day, and then you were a Broncos fan the next day. And so we've got to connect on a much deeper level. That's, I think, the secret today. And again, a lot of people are missing it in their marketing.
Okay, if you're listening, wherever you're listening to this, or you're watching this on YouTube, I want you to rewind and listen to that whole piece again. That's one of the things that we talk about all the time at the Profitable Christian Business is, what are your underlying values? How are you, like the word profitable? I tell people this all the time. Yes, we want your business to be more profitable, but we want you to be profitable for the kingdom. Those values from your business need to represent kingdom values, right? I'm sure you can go into this really well. I'll give a short story first about a local business here. It's grown since then. There's a business here called when it started, it was called Tropical Chicken, and it's run by this guy named Lazaro Montoya, I think is his last name. But he had this little one-man business, right? Went there all the time. He attracted a crowd. And when you walked in, what was playing on the speakers? Praise music, right? He had a woman come in there, sit down, and says, "You will not make it if you keep playing that music." And he's like, "I appreciate your opinion, but I'm not going to stop doing that," right? Today, he's opening up a new restaurant every single month, and he's expanded into other restaurants. It is just so great to see that kind of thing because he stood on his values, right? And I think I love your take on Chick-fil-A because I'm a Chick-fil-A fan. I'm never going to go away from Chick-fil-A. So to me, that's one of the best businesses that represents this.
Well, and to your point, it's interesting because there are signals, right? In your example of this restaurant, right? There's signals that are being sent. It's not like you've got to put a big, Jesus fish, on all your things. It's the music he's playing. Chick-fil-A, we know about the values of the founders, but their service is outstanding, which is a big piece of this too, which is you want to exemplify that in everything you do and how you treat your employees, how you treat your customers, what's your follow-up, what's the experience that they have. And so all of those things go into it because, you still have to have an excellent product. You still have to compete at that level. But yeah, I mean, again, they have an amazing chicken sandwich, but I will drive out of my way. I will inconvenience myself. I pay more
Mhm.
to eat at Chick-fil-A than I would another place.
Yeah, and we tell people, and this would be true of tropical chicken, right? There's 76.5 million Liberty spenders in this country, people who are significantly more likely to buy from a brand if they know it matches their conservative or Christian values. So whereas you might be a little worried, well, maybe I turned off this one customer because they didn't like the Christian music playing.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to bring in people who out of the 76.5 million, and for a restaurant to thrive, they don't need even a fraction of that, particularly in upstate New York, right? They need to find the 5,000 people who really, really love this and are going to come back to that restaurant 2 or 3 times a month to eat because they know the ownership aligns with their values. And so that example is something that sometimes scares people off because they think, well, I lost this person. But the people you attract are going to outnumber the people who don't find you in alignment with them.
Yeah. I had my own battle with this. Me and God butted heads. Because I had this whole notion, I want to appeal to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And I was more of a behind the scenes. I didn't have a podcast, and you rarely find me on social media. And God basically told me, I want you to come out from behind the scenes and share my word and have me all throughout your business. I was like, God, how am I going to track the loss that way? He's like, don't worry about it. I got that, right? Like, because we help businesses grow, and the more that we help businesses grow, the more that they're going to help the kingdom grow. So,
absolutely.
That's exactly the thinking. That's exactly right. And by the way, not only attracting people that are, really bought in, but those people are more likely to refer you, right? To repurchase, reorder, higher lifetime value. So, I mean, depending on your business and which one of those things applies, all of those things are adding to the bottom line and giving you a greater chance to have more impact.
Thanks for checking out the Profitable Christian Business Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.